Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Take a Pull podcast. It's the Christmas special. We've made it to silly season in full effect now, and Dec, we've got a flurry of races to get through. How are you? How's the Christmas celebrations coming along?
Yeah, all good. Yeah. Not fully ready to celebrate yet, but getting there. Looking forward to this, particularly the second half of the show, and we get stuck into the handicaps for Stevens' day.
Yeah, not absolutely. I think this is the most packed show we've ever had. I think we've 14 races coming your way. With one grade one on Stevens' Day or Boxing Day, 2 on the 27th, 2 on the 28th, 2 on the 29th, and then 2 handicaps from Leopardstown, Down Royal and Limerick for the 26th as well. So plenty of racing to fill our boots with, Dec, over the next, I don't know, give or take an hour. We'll see how close we can keep it to an hour. But we decided that maybe the first day of handicaps and then the second show we'll get the rest of the handicaps in. And obviously if we've fancies and other graded races, conditions races, maiden hurdles, beginners chases, hunter chases, bumpers, whatever's going on, and we'll pop them up at the end of the show as well. So an absolute action-packed show, Dec. I can't wait. And without further ado, we may as well just jump straight in, or else we're here all night. So
we had a long one last night, so
on the sister show, we don't want to be sitting here for
2.5 hours again.
Best part of 2.5 hours. That's tough. As I just get all our stuff ready. Anyway, Dec, we'll go straight on to the race and post novices chase. This race is probably one that we're going to keep short and sweet anyway. Look, I suppose Facile Vega is going to take all the beating in the world. He's 2-1 on to win the race. He probably will win the race. Willie Mullins has a flurry of entries in the race as well, probably to keep his stable star company. However, In the Pocket, I believe, was supplemented for this race, so it looks like they're going to go here instead of taking on Marine Nationale on the 27th in a beginner's chase. So they'll lock horns again after their tussle at Navan. I would have thought In the Pocket might be entitled to get a little bit closer if ridden a little bit more aggressively. And I don't see why it wouldn't be if they're coming here. What way did you see this, Dec?
I still think it's very hard to see Facile Vega beaten. Like if he turns up the same form as he did the last day, I thought he was very impressive. He showed us lots the way he jumped. Like, he showed he's quite a good jumper. He's clever. You wouldn't be too worried about him. I suppose it's worth mentioning that Willie has had some hot pots turned over in this. I think Champagne Fever was beaten. Vitor was beaten. I think he fell. Arviga Legionnaire done his best to lose it. He just held on. But look, it's very hard. If he jumps, he should win it. Blood Destiny's in here, who I was very, very impressed with. But is he going to run? I don't think so. Nothing really. There's nothing really else I can see. It is interesting. American Mike is seeing. I thought the way he jumped the last day. I quite liked it. I think you could put him anywhere. You could put him in any trip, 2 miles, 2.5, 3 miles. Nice when a horse can do that, but I still don't think anything's going to be Facile Vega if he turns up.
Yeah. What about Found a 50? I think he could be a runner. Will they bring him back to maybe 2 miles? Let American Mike go to Limerick. I think I'd like to see him. He does jump quite well, and I think maybe coming back to the minimum trip might be just to see how he gets on. He's not going to be winning this race, but I would be interested to see if he was to run.
Yeah, would be interesting. But like we said about the Dridmore, that it was a little bit lackluster.
Subpar,
So, and we also said if Facile Vega had turned up in the Dridmore, he'd have won easily. So, I just think Facile Vega is going to be extremely hard to beat. I know it's a bit boring, but
I'd agree with you. We don't need to.
Yeah, with grade 1 races, and
don't worry, we won't make the nap of the tap a 1 to 2 shot either. No. So we'll just say enjoy Facile Vega. We'll probably watch him from the bar maybe or something. We'll see him in the ring, then go watch him at the bar. And for that would be the main event on the 26th. Moving swiftly then on to the 27th. This is the Future Champions Novices Hurdle, I believe. Just making sure I'm absolutely... No, it's not. It's the Roars Club Chase. Sorry, I've got my times mixed up there. Apologies. Dec, this is probably one of the races you're looking forward to most on the calendar. This is
Yeah.
the main man, Captain Guinness, a horse that you firmly believe has a great opportunity to win this season's Queen Mother Champion Chase. He's 5-4 as of right now to win the Rewards Club Chase and make it. I think it was a third time lucky in the race, maybe. He was beaten by Blue Lord last year. Looks like a better chaser again. Brilliant at Navan, I thought. Really, really efficient, and I thought he was fantastic. Gentleman to me tends to take a run. Dublin Racing Festival winner last season. San Ra looks like getting trained for the Grand Annual, in my opinion. And then Dino Blue, the mare, who's going to get probably a handy £7, but she'd want to be very good, I think, to be troubling these geldings at grade 1 level. I think that rating of 155 might slightly flatter her as well. So I'm going to probably be putting words in your mouth here, but if you think Captain Guinness can win a champion chase, I assume 5-4 is a borderline gift here for you.
Unless he was outstayed by something like an El Fabiolo, who I think is a stayer. But he's not going to run here. It doesn't. Well, the market's saying he's not going to run here.
Yeah.
But I think Captain Guinness is still improving, and 2 milers can. He's a proper 2 miler, and I don't think there's too many proper 2 milers in training. Like I said, El Fabiolo, I think he's a stayer. His jumping can be a little bit iffy as well. John Bond may be better when he goes up on trip too, although really, really likeable, very clever, like a proper horse, John Bond. Or he's not here, so we don't say too much about him. Yeah, look, Captain Guinness, he was very good in the 4-3. He gave weight away on good ground. Like, if it's good or it's yielding here at Leopardstown, I think he's going to be really, really hard to beat. And I do think he'll win the Queen Mother if it's good ground in March.
Wow, okay.
Like it's just what's this, 1.7.5 or 1.7?
Yeah, it's just shy of the 2. Yeah.
At Cheltenham, and he wants good ground, and I think if it is good ground, he'd be very, very hard to beat. I think a little bit harsh on Dino Blue. Like, she was unlucky in the Grand Annual, and she's won her last 3. She beat Fedor at Nice. She deserves to rock up here. Gentleman to me can be hit and miss. You know, he's won an Open Grade 1, and he's also won a Novice Grade 1 or Aintree, but it's kind of on his terms. And you know, if I'm not sure if Jody McGarvey has ever rode him, but if he wants
Gentleman to me,
yeah,
he'd be odds on. Surely he's done it, has he? He has. He's ridden him in a handicap at Punchestown, a handicap hurdle.
Right.
Yeah, he's only actually ridden him once.
Right.
Twice. He's ridden him twice.
If he was jocked up, I'd have to have a think about it. But I don't know. Look, if it's good or it's yielding, I can't see Captain Guinness beating here. I think he's a proper 2 miler, and there isn't too many proper 2 milers around. Yeah.
Now, as I said on the other podcast, I think Rachel would want to hold on to him even after the back of the last, because he's a very strong traveller, and look, 2 miles, he just about gets 2 miles. Like, this is 2 mile 1. And so that would maybe only hunch, but
I think he was outstayed by Blue Lord, like that's all it was. And he could be outstayed by in El Fabiola, but I don't think he's going to run. So
no, he's not entered anymore in this anyway. You don't need to worry about that.
Right. So if it's good or yielding, I do think it'd be very hard to beat.
All right, well, pile in a 5-4, I guess, on Captain Guinness. Moving on to the second Grade 1 on the 27th, a race I'm thoroughly looking forward to, the Paddy Power Future Champions Novices Hurdle. 2 miles, Grade 1 level. Faso Vega won this last year. It's been one of the likes. Mighty Potter as well has won this race. Usually a very, very strong race. Form that you can usually hang your hat on. Quite a bit of movement in this market since, like, I suppose they're the equivalent of the 6-day stages. Obviously, Christmas plays a bit of havoc with early entries. Down Memory Lane is now your 5-4 favourite after winning, doing handstands at Down Royal. Very short, in my opinion. Stablemate Firefox in there 4-1. The shortest of Willie Mullins' runners was the Thurles Maiden Hurdle winner, Daddy Longlegs, in there at around 7-2. A little uneasy in the market, drifting from 4s to 8s is the Willie Mullins Maiden winner as well. It's For Me, a bit of a hype machine and bumpers last season, but did beat Codwell Potter on his hurdling debut, and that form looks quite strong. Outside of them ones, Dec, it's kind of hard to see which ones are going to run. A lot of them going the other way. Farron Glory as well, out to 11th one now. So I'm just wondering now, maybe is his participation possibly in now. And Caldwell Potter in there too. This is a brilliant race, but it does look like it's going to have the potential to really cut up. We've 16 in at the minute, Dec. What way do you see it going?
For me, if they both turn up, it's between Daddy Longlegs and Farron Glory. And they both have form with Irish Panther. Daddy Longlegs was very impressive on his debut at Thurles. He's beaten Cletus Hula 13 lengths, and Irish Panther was 14 lengths behind Daddy Longlegs. Farron Glory is the Royal Palm winner, and in his maiden hurdle, he's beaten Irish Panther by 9 lengths, which probably could have been more. But you could probably say the same about Daddy Longlegs as well. Farron Glory, I think is disrespected, and like I couldn't put anyone off having a bet on him for the Supreme right now, because I can't work out why he's the price he is. He's won the Royal Bond, and I don't think it was the worst Royal Bond in the world. And his form is bang there. He made his jumps debut in a grade 2 at Fairyhouse last Easter. He was well beat, but he's won his maiden really well, beating Irish Panther, and then he's won a grade 1. Like, I don't see what the problem is with him at all. But in saying that, I really, really like what Daddy Longlegs done, and I just, when you warm to a horse, and just I know we haven't seen much of him, but something I really, really like. And I wasn't even there. Normally, it's when you're at
the track, yeah.
You're at the track, you see something, and you really, really want him. But I just really liked what he done. Firefox, he beat Ballybourne, but I know they were well clear, but they might have been let be well cleared as well. And I was just disappointed with Ballybourne in that race, and I think visually he didn't look like he did last year. He wasn't buzzy, and I just think maybe there's a couple of reasons why, and we might see a fresher Ballybourne and look more like he did as a bumper horse later on in the season. Down memory lane, look, he was very impressive in his maiden. I have a slight concern that Derek O'Connor rode, and is there a reason why he rode? I know Mark Walsh was at Gowran that day, but I just wonder, is there something there? Is there a quirk with him or something that Derek O'Connor had to ride? I don't know. Like, he obviously rode him in his bumper, but he rode him in the main. Jack Kennedy was there on the day at Down Royal. Look, maybe it's nothing. It's just something that's stuck in the back of my head. Not there's anything wrong with Derek O'Connor, but I know he rides a lot for the owner, but Jack Kennedy was there, and Jack Kennedy's riding out of his skin this season. Like, he's been, like, for me, it's him and Keith Donoghue have been the two best jockeys in Ireland this season. Slade Steele's a grade 2 winner. He's beat Lecky Watson. He also beat King and Kingsfield before that. But look, Mystical Power, I suppose, deserves a mention. Although you said Mystical Power took a bit of time to come back to himself after
Galway, apparently, yeah.
A little bit worrying. Although beating Samoy 7 lengths, I do think is good form. But yeah, look, if they both turn up, it's between Daddy Longlegs and Farron Glory. Well, Farron Glory is the grade 1 winner. There's just something I really like about Daddy Longlegs. I'm not even sure it is yet.
I think it was just how easily he went through his race and how much of it naturally looked as well. Like, he really just, those horses that they just do it so easily. Like, it's almost like Paul just let out an inch of rain and the horse just went for him. You a good horse when you see one, really. I really fancy him, and the thing about him is he could get beat in this race, and as long as he finished out his race and was, second or third, I'd be probably, unless he was beaten out of sight by some freak show, I'd be backing him to reverse the form at anything at Cheltenham, because this is only going to be highly likely only going to be his third run of his life. And he's beaten decent horses at Thurles as well. And he could have beaten them further if he wanted to. He's just very accurate. He actually strikes me as a horse that he could morph into a champion hurdle type of horse. The way I know I'm probably throwing too much praise on a horse that's only won a Thurles Maiden Hurdle this far in his career, but he just the way he did it, yeah, he's had swagger and he had star ability, and I think he's really, really good.
For an Almanzor who won at, I think he did win. Did he?
He won a Champion Stakes.
No.
Sorry. I thought you meant the Daddy Longlegs. Yeah, he won at St. Cloud.
He's not a turtle horse. It was St. Cloud. Like it was a proper course for flat horses. And
he was beating a short head actually, but yeah, no, he still put up like a decent flat performance. So
yeah.
Like
you don't see many of them go jumping that have won at St. Cloud after one race, like, you know.
Yeah.
They don't, you know, it's a flat horse for proper horses, proper flat horses. So he jumped really, really well, like a natural, you could say, nearly.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm very excited to see him. If he can win this on only his third start of his life, second over hurdles, I think you're dealing with a proper one, a really, really good horse. That's going to take a good horse to stop him going forward if he stays healthy, all being well. I think Caldwell Potter showed plenty as well, though. Beating Gorgeous Tom at Navan, thought that was quite an impressive performance. I'm just wondering now, was it maybe on account of the ground that he was, you know, he went through that heavy ground quite well. The way he was also closing it's for me to the line. I know it's for me. He looks like a pure speedball. In fairness to him, I'm just wondering with Caldwell Potter. He could be a very nice horse when he steps up and trip, and I say will. Maybe after this race, maybe something for maybe a horse for maybe the Nathaniel Lacey and Solicitors Novice Hurdle at the Dublin Racing Festival over 2 mile 6. I'd like to see how he runs here with a view to that race in February, because he does look like a horse that's going to get 2 mile 6 standing on his head. But no, for me, it's Daddy Longlegs without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of my sweeter bets that's going to be on this podcast as well. I'm really looking forward to him. And Dec, you're probably in a similar enough boat to me, are you? Or
I say between Daddy Longlegs and Farron Glory, but I am siding with Daddy Longlegs. It's just something really want to.
That could be nap of the top material now because he's 7-2. That's justifiable. All right. Well, anyway, Dec, we'll move on to the 28th, and just while I get me race card up, this is going to be the Jack de Bromhead Christmas Hurdles. This is the 3 mile for the stayers, and we're going to have a short enough price here, and Home by the Lee, I believe, actually is going to be our favourite here for Joseph O'Brien. This is a tough enough race to work out. So Absolute Notions has been taken out of this race, unfortunately. He's the horse I quite liked on the other podcast last night, but he's not going to be partaking. He's got a Pertemps qualifier entry as well on this card, actually, later on. It'll be something maybe we speak of on Saturday's podcast. Irish Point also in the bet in 13 day. I'd have my reservations about stamina at 3 miles. He does look like he's a lot of natural speed. They could be going down a 3 mile route. He looks like just a pure 2.5 miler to me, and maybe the Liverpool Hurdle is going to be his long-term target. Monkfish been well backed as well since the 6 days came in. He's been well found 4-1 now. And I'm one that I'm just quite interested in at a big price Dec, because I did say he showed potential for I think 3 miles might be an avenue with him. Ballyadam, who has been staying on nicely in a couple of his races now. This is a big hiking class though. But I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ran a little bit better than people think if they were to chance him here. Who do you fancy here?
I like Irish Point. Well, you're questioning whether he gets the trip. I think the trip could bring out any amount of improvement. He was a novice grade 1 winner entry over 2.5 miles. He gave away plenty of weight on the seasonal reappearance, and I know he didn't beat Magical Zoe by far, but she is a decent yardstick, and I think he was giving her a stone or almost a stone.
11 pounds or something, yeah. It was big enough, 12 pounds.
He's never gone. I really, really like him. I've always really, really liked him, and he's kind of, I think he's shaped like a stayer, and having never gone this far, I'm excited to see how much he improved or how good he can be stepping up. Home by the Lee, he won this last year, but he also came into it off the back of winning the Lismullen Hurdle at Navan. I'm like I wouldn't be so keen on him this year. He is a horse I've really, really liked over the years, but I think there's better horses than him around at the moment in the division. Even though he's he's raced against Florian Porter, like he's actually beaten Florian Porter and been beaten with Florian Porter. I just think there might be more. I'm not saying better quality than Florian Porter was. I mean more of it around. Absolute Notions was second. Nathaniel Lacey.
He's not going to go here now. He's been taken out.
Oh, he's taken out, is he? Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Look, it's Irish Point's going to take the beating for me.
Yeah. Very good. I just couldn't justify the 13 days. He's the most exciting horse in the race by a mile. But he does show an awful lot of speed, and I'm just wondering maybe is this a little bit early in his career to be trying 3 miles. Maybe the form, maybe not the form book, maybe the pattern is actually dictating it to an extent, because he's not going to be winning a Madison. It looks like Bob Ollinger is going to go to the real Keel hurdle at Cheltenham on New Year's Day, grade 2 over 2.5 miles. So that kind of rules out that with connection. So I thought that would have been probably the perfect race for him. But no, they're going to go here. Fair enough. May as well. Grade 1 prize.
Did Super Sunday running this before winning an Irish champion hurdle?
Oh, I don't think so. He could have now, but I don't think so. Did he ever win one of these Super Sunday?
He might have won this, but he wasn't.
He might have ran in it and came back all right. I'm not sure if he ever won this race.
No, I think he was placed in it, and he was placed in the stairs at Cheltenham, and then I think
they came back.
Yeah.
Came back and won a Coral Cup as well off a big weight.
He won a Coral Cup. He won an Irish champion hurdle, and he might have won a Punchestown champion hurdle. And he was
some horse.
I think he was placed in a champion hurdle at Cheltenham after running in the stairs.
Aye, fantastic little horse. Brilliant horse. I've no real opinion on this race, Dec, to be honest. This is one I will watch. If I got a stupid price on Ballyadam, like he does have a bit to find. He's the upwards of stone and a bit to find, fair enough. And he is running in handicaps. But it is his first time. He's going a half mile up and trip. He's been chasing as well. But I just have a feeling that maybe he could be like he was a point-to-point winner, and I'd never hold a horse saying they're obviously a stayer because they won a point-to-point. It couldn't be further from the truth. But he's definitely shaped to me like a horse that finds plenty, but the race has sometimes got away from him before he's had the opportunity to show it. And so I think
slow is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is he's not a 2-miler. And I just would like to see him. I'd maybe if it was a 3-mile handicap hurdle, now if he was in the Pretemps qualifier, I'd be very interested. But if he was to improve even a little bit for 3 miles, there's every chance he sneaks a place. And he's kind of a hype horse that's gone through the wash. And those are the type of horses that can become very big prices because people just sour on them. So I'd like to see him in this race. I'm not saying he's going to go and win it, but I would like to see him in it. And if he was, I'd give him a little speculative each way chance. So it'd be go on, Dec.
No, personally, I just think he's very exposed. He is.
He's exposed, but this is his first time at this trip.
Yeah, fair.
But you probably want to see it in handicap company, not a grade 1. Anyway, on to the Savills Chase. And what a race this could be. Obviously, we've lost Gentleman's Game, who's out with a slight setback. Hopefully, he's back ASAP. I was really, I didn't want to hear that news because I really liked him, and I was looking forward to backing him here. But we are left with Galopin Des Champs and Faster Slow, who 11-10 Galopin Des Champs, 2-1 Faster Slow. Technically, it's 2-1 in the series. Faster Slow did run in the John Durkin last season when he was out the back of the telly learning how to jump. So it is 2-1 in the series. But Faster Slow has had Galopin Des Champs' number at the Punchestown Festival. Many people chalk that off as a fluke. Understandable, given the circumstances. But the John Durkin was absolutely no fluke whatsoever. And they're meeting now on quite equal terms. I think they need to get Galopin Des Champs back out in front and rolling, jumping fence to fence. I think that's what he was always good at. I think we know he stays 3 miles now. And the Flying the Ointment though, Dec, is it looks like this could be where Jerry Colon goes now instead of the King George. So we're going to have a proper 3-headed dragon at the top of the market. And that's without even mentioning former winners like Conflated, and even like the possible new kid on the block who's a huge price, Classic Getaway, who could end up in a race at Tremor. You never know with Willie Mullins. He might want to split all these up. But this is, even if we got Jerry Cologne, Galop and Deschamps fast or slow, which looks like we are going to get it, that's some race. Very much looking forward to it. What way do you see the Cookie Grumbler?
Look, if Classic Getaway turns up, I definitely have a go. He's a horse I've always been fascinated with. Like he had a big price tag. It was nearly 600 grand.
Yeah.
He made his debut in an open conditions hurdle, which was won by Cashback. It was probably a big ask of him. And
at the time.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. I think he won at the Punchestown Festival, hurdle at the Punchestown Festival then that season. And then he was very, very impressive on his chase debut at Gowran. He beat Minella Cooner, and Journey With Me fell at the last but was beaten. And he missed a lot of time then. And as you said, they punted the ears off him at Punchestown, the festival then in the grade 1 novice chase, which Fair Lily won. He was so good at Tortoise. Danny gave him a great ride from the front. Like Danny is very, very dangerous from the front, but the horse I thought was absolutely brilliant, and he won it really easy. Now there's a good few of them that probably weren't off that day, but there was enough of them off that couldn't get near him. I think this
few good ones tried to have a go at him. Uan Calor and French Dynamite in particular. So
yeah. I think I think this horse could be anything. You know, I really, really do. Like I think he could reward them with the, you know, he could match that fee they paid from where race he's going to win. But I suppose this race does revolve around the top two, doesn't it? Galop and Deschamps and Fast or Slow. And I know it's 2-1 in the series, but you know, Fast or Slow, the first time he was ever off our fences was in the Ultimate, and he's not beaten far by Cardiff Grand Prix, goes on to win the Grand National. Like he really bumped into one, and then he goes to Punchestown and he beats Galop and Deschamps, and then he beats him. You know, two of them on their seasonal debut in the John Dorkin, and
goes and beats him again.
Yeah, you know, so like he should be turning up favourite. He should be favourite for the Gold Cup too at the moment. And I'm struggling from the Galop and Deschamps we seen at Punchestown. I thought he looked very flat in the ring. He didn't stand out. He's a horse who's always stood out before. You know, really handsome, chest puffed out. You know, he didn't look himself, I don't think. So, and I don't know what the reason is. Like I've mentioned it a couple of times, did they get too much work into some of the horses after they were looking like they needed a run? Like the Top Ballybourne was flat as well the weekend after Galop and Deschamps ran. But I don't think the Gold Cup took her out of me either, because I thought he got an absolutely brilliant ride where he wasn't asked to do anything until they jumped the last. And Paul never popped him in question at all, which is really rare in the Gold Cup. Like nobody can really travel, you know, in a Gold Cup that well and not ask the question until after you jump the last and go beat a good horse and be well clear of third. I thought it was a really, really good ride. And standing in Cheltenham that day, I was thinking like, wow, what's coming the next couple of seasons? Like if that horse if he's won it that easy without being asked too much, like he was going to beat him. But I was forgiving him Punchestown, but maybe he's just been bumping into a better horse now. It is disappointing Gentleman's the game is out, because I'm a big fan, and I've backed him for the Gold Cup, and I would have backed him here, but look, he's gonna miss this. Jerry Colombe's a horse I just really struggled to warm to, and I just don't think he's as good as some of the other 3-mile chasers around. Stage Star is really interesting. He's a grade 1 winner, and he's won the Paddy Power really well off 155, even with a mistake at the last, beating a horse like Not Long Till May, who's had a prep run over 2 miles before that race. I thought it was a really good performance.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Stage Star has come out. Unfortunately, yeah, 16 left in it. But yeah, right. It's a pity. I was really hoping to see him myself.
Yeah, look, it's revolving around the top 2. If Classic Getaway does turn up, I'll have an each way bet on them. But I'm finding it hard see the form reversed. I find it hard to see fast and slow finishing behind Galopin Deschamps on what we've seen the last couple of races.
Yeah, maybe the change in tactics is what's going to need to happen. Like we know how devastating Galopin Deschamps can be from the front, or when ridden prominently. Maybe they go back to that.
I just think he's just not as exuberant as he once was, and it was that exuberance that you were saying that was the reason he wouldn't win a Gold Cup, and now that it's gone, it's
What happened
looking
there,
like the reason he can't win races now at the moment. Like since he's won a Gold Cup, so I never like all of a sudden people were saying, "Oh, don't be worrying about beating in John Durkin. He wants 3 miles plus." He never looked like he wanted 3 miles plus. They rode him so cold in the Irish Gold Cup last year because they're worried about getting the trip, and then he's ridden really really cold in the Gold Cup at Cheltenham, and look, it was a great ride. Like really really looked after him. But I know he's won. Did he win over? He won over 3 miles. A novice hurdle over 3 miles. So the Gold Cup trip should never have really been a problem. But I don't know him. Like it's like they've knocked that exuberance out of him, and now he's not the horse we've seen on his Chase debut. He's not the horse that was going to win the Turners really really easily, and he's not the horse who won the John Durkin last year. What is he now? I don't know. Have they turned him into a boat? Like he's not. But he's absolutely not a boat. It's just I don't know. I'm struggling to see, how he'd be fast or slow.
Yeah, I think the change in tactics is how we beat them. Now, in fairness, he might have been over the top at the end of last season. Maybe this season he needed his first run more than most years. Like there's still the opportunity. Do I want to jump in at 11 to 10? I probably don't. I don't think Jerry Cologne beats either of these two. I cannot warm to him either. I think there's a time and a place for a horse like that, and he might need testing ground to be seen at his best in a race of this nature. One of my favorite terms is speed kills horse. Speed kills those that don't have it. This horse doesn't have speed. And look, we've seen kind of grinders win Gold Cups. We've seen Native River win a Gold Cup. We've seen Lord Windermere win a Gold Cup. Grinders can win a Gold Cup, but it's a certain type of Gold Cup. And it's a certain type of Savills Chase. Yeah. It's the ones where it's a ploughed field. Yeah, it's the ones where you have a ploughed field, or there's an irresponsible gallop up on the front end, or they get racing too early. I can't warm to it. I'm happy to be wrong, but I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, you've already mentioned Classic Getaway. I'm very excited about him. It's just his price at 25 to 1 for me is just way too big. It just makes me think he's not going to run. He just should not be 25 to 1. And yeah, looking through the rest of them, at Plutar's, he's probably gone at the game, sadly. He's one that you could probably definitely say is definitely past it now. Churchstone Warrior, quite interesting too, 150 to 1 shot. He's another one, if they went to breakneck gallop, could pick up some pieces and run into a place. God knows why they don't have a Paddy Power entry with him, but yeah, I'm not the one that trains him, so off 148 I thought he would have had a good opportunity to go well in that, but no, for me, I'll tentatively probably would stick with Galopin Deschamps. I'm not going to put a bet on him. If Classic Getaway was declared, I'd definitely have a little bet each way there. Would love if Danny Mullins kept the ride and was positive on him again. A horse with a lot of potential, in my opinion. Anyway, Dec, with that said, you're sticking with Classic Getaway. You have a bet on him, or wait until?
If he turns up, I'll be backing him.
Lovely.
I'm not confidently putting a selection up, but if anyone wants to back a horse on what we said, fire it away.
Off you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
There'd be better selections later on, is what we're saying. Yeah, no, happy days. We'll move on then to the only Grade 1 in the south of the country, really. The Guinness Faheen Novices Chase. Probably an opening showcase here, Dec. 5 to 2 on Gaelic Warrior. Look, I think he only has to really jump around here, doesn't he? hard to tell even who's going to go up against him. I imagine American Mike, Corbett's Cross, betting suggesting he's coming here. I would be surprised if they went looking for the ground. I could see Favori de Chamdou coming here, but the 3 miler is probably his. Yeah, 3 miler is probably his idea. And maybe for handicap purposes, I know the way you're thinking has an entry here. This would be an ideal race to get him buried in after the way he's ran in his 2 beginners. Yeah, this is probably open and shut. 5-2 on Gaelic Warrior is probably that simple, isn't it? If another similar debut performance, he just goes and wins this.
If he runs like he did the last day, and there's nothing to suggest he isn't going to, he's gone right-handed again. It's he should win this. I hope he turns up. I hope that was real the last day.
Yeah, that was deadly.
I want to see it again. So if he does that, and it was genuine, nothing beats him.
It would have been great to see him in the Feltham instead, or the Cotto Star. That would have been some sight now. But look, there's no point, I suppose. Imagine is actually in that flying the flag for Ireland, as is Grange Clare West. So it looks like Cheaply Park want to have a day out at Kempton. Obviously with Allaho going over there too.
I wonder if he'd have been out a little bit earlier, could he have gone to the King George?
A few people called for after one run, which would have been something else. Would have been very ballsy.
If he was out a bit earlier, they got another one into him. Maybe if he'd gone there for his 3rd run.
Oh, stop the lights. Then something else. Anyway, thanks for coming, Limerick, Gaelic Warrior. We hope to see you in the winners enclosure next week. Popping on to the 29th then, Dec. The Matheson is, I believe, where we're going, or is it the Hotel Neville? Sorry, I've done that again. The Neville Hotels Novices Chase, no worries at all. This is a race now where we're kind of dealing with no kind of there's not many horses here that are probably definitely going to run. We are far enough for in excess of a week now. So in the betting, we've Corbett's Cross, Flooring Porter, Classical Dream, Grange Clare West, as I said, with his Feltham entry, kind of throws him up in the air a little bit. American Mike, and then obviously the Jigginstown duo of Favori de Chamdou and Flanking Maneuver. Imagine also in here, but it looks like he is actually going to the Cotto Star as well, as I just said there. So, Dec, we have 10 left. I'd say this is going to be a field of 5, maybe at best. Who do you think is going to run, and who do you think is going to win?
The one I'd be siding with at the moment is Monty Star. I think he's going to take a massive step forward from that 3rd in the beginners that Corbett's Cross won. Corbett's Cross.
We've sorry, Dec, to cut you off. Monty Star has been taken out.
Oh, he came out.
I'll let you. Yeah, I'll just I'll cut you off before. Sorry.
Right. Sorry. Let me have a quick look at it actually, because I'll just have a really quick squint.
Yeah, it looks like all the 6 stayers they just brought them all out at the same time. So obviously, and we're looking before that, Monty Star did have his entry, but now only the field of 10 now.
Right. Whoa, I'm not really sure. Classical Dreams come out as well. Look, Florida Porter. Sorry. Oh no,
Classical Dreams there. Classical Dreams there. Yeah.
Florida Porter, like I think his jumping needs to improve massively, and it's not Punchestown that concerns me. It was the jumping at Cheltenham, and I'd be worried about him stepping up in class, and I'd be particularly worried about him jumping around Cheltenham in the Grade 1, and it reminds me an awful lot of Thistlecrack when he went chasing, and he was another top class 3 mile hurdler. It's just he's not jumping fences like a natural, and Thistlecrack was borderline dangerous. I know he did win a King George, but I think he could have killed himself in the Gold Cup, and I'd be just a little bit worried about Florida Porter. It just hasn't looked natural enough to me, and I'm not overly surprised because he was such a good hurdler and he stayed hurdling. So I couldn't be backing him here, and I don't know where I'd be going, to be honest. I do really like Monty Star. I was keen enough on him. I could be siding with. You think American Dream goes to Limerick as well, do you?
American Mike, yeah, I do.
American Mike and Corbett's Cross goes to Limerick.
Good chance, but he is actually a shorter price for this race. But you're guessing with Emmett Mullins. It's not an easy thing to do. I just my thoughts were Factor Foil might go here, and Corbett's Cross come back to 2.5 miles. But yeah, I don't know.
Classical Dream v Flooring Port was a little bit disappointing in the Novice Chase, isn't it? Like we seen this match on the 28th a couple of years ago, in the 3 mile hurdle race, and I just think that's a little bit disappointing for the Novice Chase at their age, like, you know. And I said that about the Marsh or the Turners a couple of years ago. It ended up being a great race, but Faheen v Mellon v Samcrow, they were all a bit hardy to be Novice Chasing, you know, at that stage. And what was looking like one of the best races of the week, I'm a little bit. I hadn't, since I made a few notes, I hadn't checked who'd been scratched, so I'm actually left a little bit disappointed.
A little bit flabber, yeah, a little bit deflated, yeah.
I don't know. Like American Mike, look, as I said earlier, you could put him anywhere, and I thought he looked more like the horse he promised to be on his Chase debut, and I could see him going close, and Corbett's Cross as well. But Vardy Deschandu, I'm not sure again. Like, you know, he's probably going to go to the 4 miler. I'd be American Mike or Corbett's Cross if they turn up. I'd be just there, have the most potential, I'd say. Like if it was Classical Dream or Florian Porter, I would be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
I don't like horses who spend too long over hurdles. I don't think they make the best of chasers, like, you know. So yeah, sorry, that's probably not very helpful, but I'm a little bit.
Yeah, I found this is definitely the hardest race we're covering all night without declarations. Not even close, in my opinion. I think you're only going to have 4 or 5 runners. Decent ground, but also really scupper the Jigginstown duo's chances. They're probably both more at home on slightly more testing ground. Flank and Maneuver could probably be okay on good ground, but it's a matter of whether he'd be good enough. I'm in agreement. Like even the other duo, as we said, Grange Clare Weston Imagine with entries at Kempton. Classical Dream quite old now, as is Florence Porter. Tully Hogue Fort has no hope, and then you've the McManus duo. We're probably only going to see one of them. I'd love to see American Mike run here. I think this is the perfect race for him, but I imagine he goes to Limerick, unfortunately, but is what it is.
But you think they could, after what's being scratched from this, you think they could still go to Limerick because they've left him in here? He doesn't look like he's going to be Gaelic Warrior. I'd be going, well, I'll come here. This, as you said,
this is very winnable. This is very winnable, and given how he jumped, I thought he looked like a stone and a half better horse over fences, in my opinion, the way he went up. Now, the only thing is, Factor Foil is a very inexperienced horse. It was his first time jumping obstacles in public, on a race course, and doing his effort to, go straight from a bumper and run American Mike close. That's no mean feat. I know he was odds on to beat him, but like, you're basically backing Factor Foil to be absolute head and shoulders above American Mike, and it's not as if American Mike's a bad horse. He was just overhyped as a bumper horse. Not his fault.
Yeah.
So it's just that's his level of form. He looks like a better chaser now.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him here. I'd happily back him if he did turn up here, but I don't think he will. No, that's the kind of annoying part.
Well, if I owned him and trained him, he'd be coming here. He wouldn't be going to Limerick.
I'd nearly put him in, but I'd run him at Leopardstown regardless. I'd run him against Fossil Vega before I'd run him against Gaelic Warrior, I'd say. Yeah. Anyway, Dec, onto the Matheson Hurdle. Again, this is probably going to be another open and closed case. It is going to obviously be State Man, who's probably trading at around 1 to 2, give or take, to win this race. Look, is there any stopping him, Dec? I know there's Imperi Pass in here, but
did we get the entries for the Christmas Hurdle at Kempton yet?
I'll have a look at them in just 1 second. We do have 7 left here in the Matheson. It's Bob Ollinger, who's highly unlikely to run. Phil's Duderi, who's not obviously not good enough given his run in the given his run at Punchestown in the Morgiana. And Perry Pass, Irish Point, who looks like he's going to the 3 mile hurdle. State Man, who's now 1-4, which I think kind of tells you what's the plan with Perry Pass is. Zana here, who has entries here in the Christmas hurdle, and he's actually entries in both beginners chases over 2 miles and 2 miles 5 at this track as well. And then Echoes and Rain, who's probably just going to nip around and take her usual grade 1 place black type. She's in here at 9-2 now. So, Dec, while you're speaking about those 7, I'd say this could literally only be 3 runners, but
Imperial Pass is not in the race at Kempton, so
right.
Look, I was impressed with his performance at Fairyhouse. You know, I think he was just outstayed by his stayer, and there's nothing wrong with that. I thought he hurdled really, really well. It was a seasonal reappearance. I know it's a winter seasonal reappearance, but he apparently goes, you know, we're being told that's when he's at his best. He goes well fresh. So, and he's a really good progressive stayer. So there's nothing wrong with being outstayed by a stayer over 2.5 miles when your aim is a 2 mile race. So I really, really like Imperial Pass. But saying that, I think State Man is some animal. Like I really, really do. The way he won the Irish champion hurdle last year, I thought was so impressive. To do his own work and be honeysuckle like that, I just thought he was so good that day. Every time he's won, he's been so good. He's just, and you only have to listen to Paul Townend talk about him and how he talks about him. Like, he absolutely loves him. It's unfortunate for him he's around the same time as Constitution Hill. But look, we've seen State Man once already this season. We get to enjoy him. We don't get to enjoy Constitution Hill. We don't get to enjoy him at all. So I'm going to enjoy State Man, and I'm, like I said to you last night, Andy, I'm really looking forward to the champion hurdle. I find it very, very intriguing because Willie hasn't kept the 2 of his hurdling for the crack. You know, he hasn't kept the 2 of them hurdling to just run in the champion hurdle. He's cooking up something, and he's going to have a go at Constitution Hill, and I can't wait to see what it is. And if Constitution Hill can beat the 2 of them, like, Jesus, what is he? And it's awful unfortunate that we don't get to see him more. And I just, like, we're very, very lucky that, you know, the man who owns John Bon owns him, because we get to see him dance every dance, and, you know, he's the people's horse over there. But, you know, if he wasn't known by him, we might never get to see him. Obviously trained with the same trainer as Constitution Hill. Yeah, look, I love State Man. He's so good. He is the one to beat. Even if Imperial Pass is in here, State Man's still the one to beat, because he's won the open races. How many open grade runs has he won now? Like 4 or 5?
Give or take, yeah. State Man.
State Man, yeah.
2 Morgianas, an Irish champion hurdle, and a Matheson 4. No, and he won a Punchestown, did he?
Punchestown, yeah, 5. Yeah. Yeah, look, nothing should beat him here.
No, I agree. As I'm just adding a little banner for our next segment, Dec.
Are we giving away the tickets? Are we?
The tickets, yeah. I have no extra opinion. I would actually, if the price was right, I could be tempted into backing Imperial Pass, because I think he's just an out and out 2 miler. Speed horses win the Ballymore. He showed to me Hans Grace, he was an out and out speed horse, hurdled like a cat. I don't think there's many better hurdlers in training the way he went. And I would love to see it. I hope Willie unleashes them both. I think it'd be a really, really good race. And I'd be very, very excited to see how Imperial Pass comes on for his opening run. But that brings us to the end of our grade 1s, Dec. If we were to have a nap of the grade 1 tap, if for a lack of a better term, would we be in agreement that it would probably be Daddy Longlegs?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, like without being silly and giving Facile Vega or State Man, although you said you'd back Imperial Pass, I think it would be Daddy Long. A backable nap off the tap for the graded races would be Daddy Longlegs, I think.
We'd probably both encourage Classic Getaway at an each way price as well, if he was to run in the saddles.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Fantastic. Right, well, guys, we've been very lucky to give some tickets away to the Welsh Grand National on the 27th of December at Chepstow. And the Irish hopeful in that race with the Gordon Elliott trained Dunboyne. So hopefully he goes over there and runs a big race. Loves his testing ground. Race should be tailor-made for him. And we've 2 tickets to give away, hospitality. So thank you very much. And
I'm not sure, are they hospitality or Premier tickets?
Premier tickets, same. That's basically hospitality in the UK, isn't it? You get to see the parade ring, don't you? Like, that's usually great. You get to see the horses. They're not in a different bleeding time zone to the race.
Yeah.
Anyway,
very good to receive the tickets, and we're obviously doing our best to promote Irish racing, and we discovered during the week that we actually have followers from the States who are getting into Irish jump racing. So
there you go.
Now, if there's any, and all of a sudden we're giving away tickets for a race in Wales or a day in Wales. So, if there is anyone listening from any Irish race courses, we're doing our best to promote you. So if you want to choose a few tickets to give away, we can give away, and we can get people going racing, and get to your racetrack.
That's absolutely true. For audio listeners, the question on screen in order to win the 2 tickets, you can comment under the YouTube video. I think you can send us a how did we do on Spotify or whatever. You can stick the answer in there. Yeah, you can comment it on Twitter or X if you want as well. But for audio listeners, the question is, who was the last Irish trained winner of the Welsh Grand National? So who was the last Irish trained winner of the Welsh Grand National? And we'll announce the winner, Dec, on Tap 18, the Handicap Saturday pod. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, is that giving people enough time?
Well, look, that'll be on the 23rd. The race is on the bleeding 27th. There's not much else you can do here over Christmas.
I think we do have. Look, if we've listeners from the States, surely we have listeners and viewers from Britain. So, look, throw in the. Well, where are they putting the answers?
Anywhere, just comment to anywhere on any of our social media pages. We'll find one. Obviously, if you comment on them all, you have a better chance of winning. So, happy days. Maybe give us a follow while you're at it as well. Anyway, Dec, we'll go to the handicap part of the show.
This is what we're doing now. This is what
rewinding.
I can't believe we've been talking pony now for the last 50 minutes.
I know. We're going swinging all the way back to Stevens' day at Leopardstown, or Boxing Day, back to the 145, the careers at dornangroup.com, novices handicap hurdle, a race that has been won in the past by the likes of Master McShee, so it usually takes a very well handicapped horse to go in and win this. Just the 32 entries, so obviously a few are going to get balloted out here, Dec. And I suppose, do you have your fancy? Can you share your fancy with us?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's nobody else here. Yeah, look, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them I'd give a chance to in here. I'm not sure one of them's going to get in, but the first one, Striking, will be in. 121, 5-year-old. Maiden winner beating Irish Envoy, who has won a handicap and was unlucky the last day. He was just getting into the race at Punchestown and took a false step or something, and Tom Harney was lucky to stay on, but that was the end of that. Was 38 start off 118 last month. Only beat 1 length, got the £3, but has a definite chance in a really competitive race. The next one is a horse we've put up between us a couple of times, Lazar Wolf off 112. Travelled well for a long way the last day. Been left on the same mark, has a big chance. If this one gets in, then it's going to be a toss-up, but this could be a funny nap of the tap, Andy, couldn't it? Because I'm going for the Ned Colley horse here, but I'm not sure mine's going to get in. It's must go now, rated 100. Third and handicap debut after 3 out the back. Like, obvious claims here. Could be really, really well handicapped if he gets in. I know it's competitive, but
took on the last with him as well, didn't he?
Yeah, challenging. A lot of them have shown their hand here. A lot of them have won races or nearly won races, whereas this fella is definitely less exposed than most of them in this race. So if he does get in, he'd be my head Colley horse.
Lovely. Oh, okay. Well, look, the reason I think the other Ed Collie horse is the one to be with is this is his only entry of the whole week. We do have entries up until the 29th. Must go now. Could well go here. But he also has an entry over 2.5 miles on the 28th at Leopardstown, and also over 2.5 miles in the novice handicap hurdle. This race basically, except over 2.5 miles on the 29th. So 3 entries at Leopardstown, unless he's just so well handicapped that Eddie Coley just wants to, turn him out in a few days under a penalty. I think Charles Burns actually did that. He won this race with Sea Light. If you go back about 8 or 9 years, he won this race with Sea Light and turned him back out on the 29th and won it odds on. So it can be done. So do look out for it.
My only concern, Andy, about Attaboy Charlie is it's his first step in the handicap company, and I know it's mostly when we're talking lower down the grade, but I'd like them to have a run. But obviously, when there's this much ability, they don't always need to run.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It honestly wouldn't bother me. Not in the slightest. Second on his first ever run to Waterford Whispers, beating a length and a half. Waterford Whispers has handicap entries later in the week off 123. I think there's room in his mark off 123. This lad got to within a length and a half of him. If you want to go back and watch JJ Slevin basically be a lucky man, just go back and watch this horse's run at Naas. He opened up about 10-1, rocked up, I think, SP of 28-1 and ran accordingly. Never really had the opportunity, is the easiest way to kind of go close in the race. Went by a load of beaten horses late on and finished basically what looked to be full of running. And then was 7th again in a maiden hurdle that I think we've both described as quite strong. He was behind Firefox and Ballyburn at Ferryhouse, 7th that day as well. Handicappers giving him 111. I'm not even joking you that this could be Eddie Colley's best horse in the yard. Now to be Eddie Coley's best horse in the yard. Now,
is he his best handicapped horse?
He could be the best handicapped, but I genuinely think this could be a 135, 140 horse going forward. Like, I think he could be that good. If they were to send him out, and if he's rocking up here off 111, I don't think he's going to need handicap experience. I think he's absolutely, for lack of a better term, it could be chucked in off 111 in my opinion.
My only it's suddenly they're going at pace and the obstacles are coming at them quicker than they ever, and they'll be going like the clappers here in this. True. That's my only concern about him. But look, if he has that much ability, I see. Yeah. Look, you think there'll only be one of them running, don't you?
I do. Like, I think he could run 2. Eddie Coley is known to run two of his, like, especially in these colours. It's fairly regular. I just think that Must Go Now has the other entries.
So Attaboy Charlie doesn't. Forecast.
Could well do, yeah. I wouldn't put you off. A few other horses deck that we did mention. Rockview Consort, a big eye catcher in my opinion at Thurles last day. She's in here off 112, but 9-day turnaround. I don't think it'd be kind of my idea of a winner. Me wee Bonnie Lass for Gavin Cromwell as well. A huge drifter the last day. She's ran twice and won twice. Maiden hurdle winner, big drifter the last day, but defied it and still won. She's clearly a nice filly. Yeah, she's a good few entries. Very nice filly. She probably goes off favourite if she runs here. Obviously has to be respected, but Attaboy Charlie, in my opinion, could be like really, really, really well handicapped. He'd be one of my better bets on Stevens's day. So that's where I'd be going. Basically, just long story short, back whatever Eddie Coley runs there. is the easiest way to put it. Or back them both if they both rock up. Perfect deck. Well, we'll jump on to the 2-mile handicap chase. Again, very competitive. Goes without saying. We've got 21 runners. This could be the return deck of Captain's Nephew. You probably saw the entry up £9 after winning so easily at Clonmel when he was the map at the top. Obviously here off 120. A horse I think is really, again, could be really well treated, but half of South Dublin are going to be on him given his colours. Snake Oil.
Everyone's south of Temple Oak.
Yeah, everyone's south of Temple Oak, as you said. Behind the likes of Barnia Cudda, the big chap in a race that's already yielded winners at Galway. And
who from that race has won, Andy? Come on.
Oh God, what's that horse called again? oh yeah, Spillane's Tower, yeah, future star. Anyway, and then at Naas, he he was a little dicey in his jumping. But I think he did get tired late on. I know there was a mid fences. I think this horse is just an out and out 2-miler. And they're bringing him back now to the minimum trip for his handicap debut. I think he won on handicap debut as a hurdler, potentially. I think maybe not. I'd have to double check that actually. I don't think he actually ever did. Did he ever run a handicap actually? As a handicap hurler, I might be getting my Barry Connell horses mixed up. Anyway,
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
Long story short, a few pounds lower than his hurdles mark. I think 122 is very workable. He would be my selection here. Dec, would you be sticking with Captain's Nephew or are you looking elsewhere?
No, I'm not. What do you get? £9, Captain's
Nephew?
£9,
yeah.
Probably fair. Hopefully, Philip Rothwell will be on with us on Saturday.
Shed a bit more light, yeah.
And he might be able to. He might give something away, or he might not. No, but look, the big chap is in here, and you know my thoughts on him. And that wasn't his true run in the last day. Like, he was pulled up, but there's nothing's come out of it. The jockey said he made a mistake, and I was hoping to hear a bit more than that, you know. But look, he's definitely worth another go off 134. I think he's much better than that. He won a beginner's chase at Fairy House. He won a maiden hurdle, and he's won that rated novice chase at Galway that Snake Oil and Spillane Tower was in. So, look, I'm willing to give him another go. The other one I like is Skipping Court. If he gets in 118, he's right down the bottom. He was toured to the King of PRs the last day in a beginners. He won a stalled handicap off 116, and he was beat 11 lengths at the Punchestown Festival off 122. He's in here off 118. That's got to be very, very workable over fences. Like, he surely has a good bit in hand there. Although
up in class now, that's the only thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing. He might be better exploiting it in a lesser race. That would be my only concern is he's up against better horses who are going to be well handicapped as well. But he is sticking out as one who's well handicapped. Look, the two of them, the big chap and Skipping Court, if he gets in.
Totally. I say he'd be defections here. I say any horse that wants to run here can run. Be interesting to see what the plan with Captain Combi is as well, coming back to 2 miles. I thought he ran a nice race the last day behind who was it again? Oh yes, Spillane Tower. So he obviously had a penalty as well that day. So I thought he ran a nice enough race back in third there. 134 seems workable, but I imagine he'll have bigger fish to fry in the springtime. Right, Dec. Well, we'll move on to Down Royal. So our first, I think it's our second trip to Down Royal on the podcast. Well, technically a third. We did 2 episodes, didn't we? So just gonna get the L handicap up. It's a handicap hurdle, 80 to 102. The Adair Manor Opportunity handicap hurdle. Usually, it's a great series. This, as I said, mentioned on a few episodes. Big list of entries here. Just the 36th. With eyeing this race up.
We have the ballot though, so you can work it out who will.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, take it away then, Dec.
Look, there's 3 I like here. The first one is trained by podcast favorite Owen McCarthy. They're actually it's not a mare's race, Andy, is it?
No, it's Adair Manor. The mare's race is next.
For the amateurs.
The conditional jokes,
look, Dark Image. She was 20 lengths behind mispronunciation on her handicap debut. She's also entered at Limerick on the 29th, though, so we're going to get a bit of this, hadn't we?
100%. It's got without doubt.
She's in here off 97. It's her second handicap. She ticks the boxes. She's has a lot of what we're looking for. And a top tracker horse, one of yours, Andy, Gold Haven. She's in here off 93. She bumped into West Away at Cork the last day, who absolutely bolted up. She's got £3 for that, but well cleared the tour. Like, I think she could have been 10 lengths cleared of the tour.
She gets 10 or 11 pounds probably, like your last West Away. Take him out of the race.
Exactly. She gets whatever West Away gets, or wherever he got. So she's only got the £3, so she's still going to be really well handicapped. But the one I'd probably go for is Glenmalure Flyer, actually owned by Keith Hopkins. I don't know whether you know Keith, but he's on Twitter. I chat to Keith every now and again. Really, really nice fella. It's just a pity he's a Rovers fan, but it's good to see her. She's out at the Hoop Silks and she's in the red this time. She made her handicap debut behind Herculean, 2 lengths off Orion Allen, who's followed up since. She ran in Decent Maidens. I think she's sticking out here as
off 97 there.
Yeah, much better than her mark.
Any other entries?
No, and I asked Keith, was she going to Down Royal? He said yeah, and I was like, yeah. I was like, geez, she wins that, and he's probably going, yeah, I fucking know.
Shut up.
Yeah, don't be telling anyone about that. No, look, I just asked, was she going to run here, and he said yeah, and he just said, look, what a dream it is to have a runner over Christmas, like, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, and obviously delighted to see her in the Pats colours and now those Rovers hoops.
Very good. But I'll probably make my decision closer today. I like, obviously, as you said there, the Tap Tracker Goldhaven. My only worry is I'm not, like, just the 16 days. I would like to maybe see an extra few days, but especially, like, she did kind of go a bit to try and beat your lad West Away, and it didn't happen. But look, we'll see at declarations what happens there. Next, the 158, the Met Collect handicap chase, not to 102, right into your habitat deck. Well, there's one horse here that, and I think the whole race is going to revolve around the betting of this one horse. A horse that, they went for him a few times over hurdles. There was a few right punts on him, and they did go astray. I remember once at Cork, and I think they had another go at Tramore. Jumped the shark for Gavin Cromwell.
Only ran the weekend.
Only ran the weekend behind. Well, it would have been behind Hunter's Yarn. It was in the end behind Saflor. But look, the three novice chases he's ran in, beaten by Facile Vega, beaten by Corbett's Cross, beaten by Saflor, and he came home quite well behind Saflor. Dropped back to 2 miles. Back up to 2 mile 4 here. Obviously, he's never won a race, but it's not for the want of trying. In fairness to him, it's rare you see a JP horse bump into one, but it did happen to him over hurdles. Funny enough.
Oh, it's not always McManus.
Yeah. This could be, if they want to go for it, and I'm just not 100% sure. Like, it's just so close after the beginner's chase, but you can make an argument that this lad just hopped around and was probably only a piece of work for him.
Oh, he absolutely did. I watched him. Yeah. I was at Fairley House on Saturday, and I watched him. I never even.
He is ticking all the boxes for me, Dec. Hurdles mark of 104. Doesn't seem to jump badly, albeit he's never kind of been asked to kind of come out of his jockey's hands. Opening chase mark of 97, and he's only a 5-year-old, and he's back up to 2.5 miles. There's a lot speaking in his favour. It just, for me, is it too bloody obvious, and is it the next day? That's my question to you.
I don't know. I was surprised to see him in here because I actually had a look at him on Saturday. I was not, because it was Keith Dunn who was only ride of the day.
Yeah.
And it was there 2 meetings? No, there was 2 meetings on Sunday. It was Keith Dunn who was
but he could have gone to Cheltenham.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, he could have gone to Cheltenham, but Conor Stonewall was riding. Gavin's over there, and I just thought it was odd. So I kept an eye on him throughout the race. He was a half length second off 101 over hurdles, but he hasn't won. I'm always a little bit concerned when they haven't won over hurdles. But his 3 beginners runs have been out the back. He is an obvious one. Another one is Carol Mare 97. She's solid looking form in 3 beginners behind Silent Approach, who won the graded mares race at Cork the weekend, and behind Laella before that. She won off 95 over hurdles, and she had a peak rating of 105. She's also entered, I think she entered in a hurdle at Limerick. But you want to be exploiting the chase mark.
Yeah.
So if she comes here, she's a big danger. But I found this one quite funny. I don't get it. rated 81. He's a 3-time hurdles winner. He won off 102 last May. He'd won chase start. It was a long time ago, and he was only rated 83 over hurdles at the time. So I was just wondering, have they really been playing the long game? Are we going to see an almighty gamble? Where are you looking at it there, Andy Handy? Can you see?
Yeah.
When was the chase start? What year was it?
He was taken out of a few chases as a non-runner. It was at Wexford. He was beaten 40 lengths by Where's Bunny, Gavin Bruder Road. Funny thing is that their comments would say always towards rear. This guy is now a bona fide front runner. He's a bit of a tearaway. He does go from the front and goes quite hard. So you're gonna get different tactics as well.
So, but they've given it right. He's been out the back. He's never tried in the chase. So rated 83 over hurdles at the time, and they've gone right. Okay, 81. Okay, they've looked for a mark because he's so much hurdle experience and he's rated in the 80s. They can get one, and then they go back over hurdles, and he wins off 102. That's 21 pound above, and that was only in May. So I don't know whether they've been waiting a long time to do this, or they don't know whether he can jump fences or not, surely, because he didn't try. It's going to be interesting to watch the betting on this.
I completely agree.
I'd say you'll see this immediately as soon as this opens. It could start to shorten.
Humble, yeah.
This could be a big gamble, I think. I
think is he Northern Irish owned or trained? You often see him up and down Patrick. You did anyway this earlier last season. He does often run up the north very, very regularly. So he must be locally owned as well. Locally
just keep an eye on this. Just back him. Start the gamble. No, look, I just think it's not like he won off 102 over hurdles 2 years ago and he's regressed. He's won off 102 this year in May. And he's back down. Like, I can see where the chase mark came from. He was only rated 83 over hurdles at the time. I just wonder, have they gone right? Did you find out the year he won that chase was?
Hold on. It was quite a while ago. I have to go looking for it. Wexford, June 22. Right, 8th of June 2022.
So we improved from 83 to 102 in a year over hurdles.
When they switched them. They switched the front running tactics, which yielded quite a bit of improvement.
So, this could be the nap.
Yeah. He didn't seem. I don't know. Like it is a weird one. Why they never went hurling or never went back chasing. Maybe it is a plan.
They might have been just waiting on Christmas. Was he a non-runner last Christmas by any chance?
No, it was a non-runner at. Never seen a horse rated 81 get so much coverage in my life. 12th of August 2022, unsuitable ground. The ground was good. It was at Tremor.
Look, it's surprising that he hasn't ran in a chase. It's not like he's shite at chasing. Like, do you know what I mean? He just can't do it.
Maybe he leaves massive horse shaped fucking holes in the fences on the schooling where you never know. But then again, no, you could be right. They could be just holding them back. You never know. So.
Yeah, like they're gonna go. Yeah, nobody will see this. Nobody will spot this. All the money for us. Yeah, and us too. They didn't know we were going to start up, did they?
Boy.
Look, I can see where you're coming from with Jump the Shark. My worry is he's never won a race. Carrot, it was Carrot for me until I got all the way down here to 81. And gone,
all the way down here.
What is going on here? So I'm excited about this now. I'm looking forward to this. Look, it might be nothing, but you can't not go in. You cannot have a joke.
Oh, well, at that deck, we go back to Limerick. Mr. Binman. There we go. What's your thoughts on Mr. Binman?
Where's Mr. Bin? Oh, is this the name, right?
The Mr. Binman Mayor's Handicap Hurdle.
They don't have Greyhound or Or talking
No,
down
that's
there, is
it's
it?
actually good seeing a nice local sponsor
Yeah,
instead of the do your nuts at Betway
it is. Yeah, much
handicap
better
hurdle or
than
something.
that. Yeah, take all your
Yeah,
money out of the ATM and give it to us at 365.
but gamble or do it responsibly.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, the 208. It's the Mr. Binman Mares Handicap Hurdle. It's over 2.5 miles. One horse I did put up on to take a bull podcast in November, Dec, Miss Agatha Yates, who was just chinned. It was a poor jump at the last, and Greenness, which just got her beat by Dork and Cock at Navan the last day. Well clear of Slane Hill, who was beaten favourite that day. Look, very, very good chance she follows up here. She absolutely, like, I'd still say well handicapped as a result of just Greenness getting her beat up to 116. So up £4 for that. It's understandable. It's not ideal, but she does go back into her own company here. I would imagine she'd be a very warm order to win this race, though. As I said, it's mares only. She's clearly progressive. There is some nice mares in here, though, Dec. I'll
Yeah.
let you take it away. Obviously, my wee Bonnie Lass, who we spoke about there, this could be a more suitable target for her. But there is a few in here that would definitely, require a second look. So who do you like here?
I really struggled to come down on one here, and when I did, it was Magdalene. She was second to She's a Fine Wine at Limerick. I think it was here, wasn't it? She's a Fine Wine won our maiden here.
Yeah, Limerick. Yeah.
Yeah, look, it looked good form at the time. It's probably not worked out quite well, but she was ahead of Best Lion that day, and Best Lion has got a rating of 111. Magdalene's in here of 101. My concern would be maybe she showed her hand a little bit too much, but she's £10 below Best Lion. I'm struggling to work that out because until I seen Best Lion's rating, I was full sure Magdalene had shown her hand too much, and she's just not that good. But maybe she's well handicapped. Certainly well handicapped against Best Lion, I think. Other than that, I'm not sure I'm going to get involved in this one. I thought it was really, really tricky. And this is, you've been talking about this since we started, Andy. This is your game.
The mares, absolutely.
I do like
Miss Agarty.
The nap at the top. I don't
know. I'm way too giddy on Attaboy Charlie for this to be the nap at the top. But I am quite sweetener. But the thing is, this isn't hard to find. Like I did mention when we actually mentioned this, I mentioned this mare back on one of our first ones when we covered Punchestown. Tipped the winner that race as well, Dancing Jeremy. Said Miss Agartha Yates she'd probably need the handicap experience. She kind of fell in at Wexford at 50-1. But it showed that she had plenty of ability. She likes testing ground. And I did actually nominate a race at Limerick for her. The only thing is that they ended up deciding to go for it at Navan. And I just think she could be a well-handicapped mare. Clearly thrives on testing ground as well. Up £4, it's not ideal, but she was up in there against Geldings. For me, this is a severe drop in class for her. It's probably maybe outside of me wee Bonnie Lass, who she is probably in the could be anything category. She could be way better than 118, but she has so many entries that you can't be kind of hung up on her. She might do me somewhere, but she can't do me twice in one day. So if I lose Attaboy Charlie, which I don't think I will, I get Miss Agartha Yates. If she comes up against Miss Agartha Yates, so be it as well. But for me, I think she's going the right way. Only having the fourth start of her life, and I think the one maybe just below her there as well, Sarah Barra, Sam Curling. She's dropping from Grade 3 company. She was behind Search for Glory at Cork as well. Now, that run got her a £4 penalty for being beaten about 8 lengths, but she is dropping from a Grade 3 into a mare's handicap. So she is another one that you'd have to be wary of. I don't think the mark will miss her, though, given that she's coming from a Grade 3. So For me, I'm going to stick with Miss Agar the 8's, going to trust the top tracker. And yeah, go from there. You've nothing else to add there, Dec, no?
No, look, I go with Magdalene, but I did struggle with this. Like
Okay.
they're probably all rated too high for me as well.
Very good. Well, what about this one? The BRC McMahon reinforcements. Have you ever availed of their service or?
The BRC. What is it? BRC.
BRC McMahon reinforcements handicap chase. And there's one at the look at this one at the top deck. His only entry of the week. He's due to carry 12 stone 3. He's surely not a runner, but Invictus Mashing, who we were both quite interested in when he saw a handicap chase. The handicapper has probably seriously struggled here behind the big chap, beaten 43 lengths, then beaten 44 lengths by Imagine. And to be honest, he actually was a little bit closer than you would have thought. He jumped pretty well. He jumped pretty well in the main until I think one in the home straight was either the third last or second last. He hit it quite hard when he was getting tired, but actually ran quite well behind Mr. Policeman.
Andy, I was at Ferry House on his first run of offences, and I watched him closely. Like while everyone else was watching the race, I was watching him. Out the back. Probably wasn't
awful man.
Probably wasn't on your TV screens, but I was fixated on this fella in the blue cap out the back. I thought he did quite well that day. And I was beside Gavin Cromwell, but he was watching my mate Mozzie. Gavin, your lad's jumping well. He's like, "Are you sure?" I say, "No, there he is over there, Gavin."
He's at the 4 furlong pole. They're jumping the last fighting for their lives.
For Gavin. He's still trying to jump. Yeah, look. We've been waiting on him, haven't we? Like he jumps fine. It's handicap chase debut. He only ran in one handicap hurdle. That was off 119.
12 stone trader.
Yeah, no, look.
They could get Connor Stone Walsh, couldn't they? They could I would imagine they could maybe send him down there, take 5 off. Anyway, who are the three?
It's so hard to work out though, isn't he? Like he won the maiden down Royal. Like absolutely looked like he won by accident.
Definition of falling in.
Yeah. And then he got beaten out the back of the telly in a rated novice hurdle. Looked like they stopped him. And then he ran in a handicap hurdle of 119. He was well beat. I don't know. Maybe he needs Jody McGarvey. Maybe he's not well. But I don't look. We don't know who's going to run the race. So I'm going to give 3 anyway. He's obviously one of them, and he's a top tracker horse from very, very early on. And one we're waiting on, but 12 stone 3. There's nothing straightforward about this fella. The next one is Mahler's Cove. I did mention him on USO last night. He is in the top tracker. He's in here off 92. He was third to Money Heist at Naas the last day off 90. He's 5 lengths ahead of Prince of Air, who was fourth of McGrath from Clune.
Yeah.
I think that's decent form, and there is a race for Mahler's Cove. Might not necessarily be at Christmas when it's going to be quite competitive, but there's definitely a race there for them. And then there's a horse I put up a while ago, MacIver, I think it was at Tremor. It was at Tremor I put him up. Look, he just didn't look to stay, the 2 mile 5 and the 3 mile 1. There's been money for him both days. And he travelled really well in them. I just think it's very, very interesting MacIver coming back to 2 mile 1 here. He travelled very, very well. I think he only ran the weekend actually. And I was like, no, this fella's at nothing. And then I seen him travelling well. I go, no, oops, we're in trouble here. Yeah, and then he just found nothing again. So coming back, look, maybe he won't have the pace to go 2 mile 1, but he's definitely interesting coming back and trip. But I don't know. Look, I would be happy if one of the 3 turned up and I could just back that one.
Yeah,
they're 3 I like anyway.
All right. Well, I'm happy to sit this one out, Dec. I'm not even going to pretend to.
Will you?
I wish I could.
Listeners.
I was actually checking a few other horses. That obviously we have entries up until the 29th, and I have found one that it'll be for Saturday though. It'll be for Saturday.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting. Yeah, Dec, that brings us to an end. Do we have a nap of the handicap tap? Probably not. I think we kind of have different views or whatever Cowley runs at Leopardstown, I suppose.
Yeah, we probably don't have a
yeah, unless you want to.
But Daddy Longlegs is probably he seems like that.
Yeah, Daddy Longlegs is probably the obvious one there.
Look, have a look at maybe just back I don't get it for the crack anyway. Back him for the crack because back him for the crack because look, if they're pulling this off, fair play to them. That chase was it a year ago, over a year and a half ago when he was rated wins off 102. Oh, why wouldn't he be having a go? He was genuinely rated 83 over hurdles at the time.
Yeah.
So he's definitely worth having a go. Although we've picked out two others in the race. Keith Hopkins' horse, I do hope for Keith goes in. And she's the one sticking out for me, Glenmalure Fleur. Just pity about the name and they're all colours. But good to see her in the red.
Very good. Well, it's Attaboy Charlie for me. He's the main handicap blot for me. And obviously, Miss Agartha Yates in the mare's handicap at Limerick. I think she'll take some stopping as well. But I would imagine her to be quite well fancied. I'd be surprised if she wasn't. And that brings us to the end of Tap 17, our Christmas special featuring all the grade ones in Ireland and the Stevens's Day / Boxing Day handicaps from Leopardstown, Limerick and Down Royal. Hopefully we found you a few winners. We'll be back with some filthy, disgusting selections for Tap 18 and the handicaps.
We won't be boring you with any graded action on
highlighters we do in overtime for Tap 18. It'll be a bit of fun. Tap Tracker's going to get emptied. Stick with us.
Highlighters in each colour.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Just stick with us. Keep subscribing. Keep telling your friends. Keep commenting. We love it. And should we say give a special shout out to Jay maybe?
Yeah.
You're the one that met him today, so big thank you, I suppose.
Thanks very much, Jay. One of our most loyal supporters. Met Jay for lunch today, and he did a couple of drinks for us. So fair play to you. Really nice gesture. And I just say the reaction to our tweet the weekend actually really took me by surprise.
Yeah.
And look, if you can tell your friends about us and tell your family, if you're sitting down over Christmas and someone reckons he has a tip over Christmas, tell them we fucking loads of them. We take this serious. Just how serious we take it. I think that's the first time I've coursed on a tap and we're into 17.
Yeah, I've cursed more than you.
Yeah, if you want to know, you'll know just how much I course. So
the bleeding sailor.
That might be the first time I've done it on tap. So look, we are putting a lot of work in, and we're very, very grateful for all the support we've received. But we do really enjoy this, and we hope to find just plenty of winners. It's been good to date, and we hope to continue it because we're really enjoying it. We just hope you are too.
Yeah, that's it. And until Tap 18, I couldn't have said that better myself, Dec. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll be back on Saturday with our handicap selections. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.